Why is it that we talk about working out? Why is it that we talk about exercising? All of these principles are exactly the same for the hair follicle. And for your student, one of the other things I would highly encourage, make sure that you're using your red light therapy post applying any topical.
I'm going to read this from one of my students. He says, I personally have been on a hair restoration journey for a minute. I will say I've experienced the most growth and success in the past few months. My regimen is 5% minoxidil, just the generic brand from Costco, generic finasteride, and this is the new thing I added, which is red light therapy. I honestly think the red light has really supercharged things. What do you feel about that?
Oh, I couldn't agree more. That is exactly the reason that he is finally starting to see success. So red light therapy is the core of everything we do at our clinic because it's one, it's natural. Two, it is stimulating the blood flow. So the way that you improve upon cellular health is you allow more oxygen to the cell and you allow the blood to flow more freely, right? Why is it that we talk about working out? Why is it that we talk about exercising? And so all of these principles are exactly the same for the hair follicle. And so the red light therapy will definitely help. And for your student, one of the other things I would highly encourage, make sure that you're using your red light therapy post applying any topical. So if he's applying finasteride topical or he's applying minoxidil topical, and those can be combined. So we do a lot of compounding with our topicals. And so combining the two, applying the treatment onto the scalp, and then using your red light therapy even supercharges the red light therapy.
I love that. And can you just get a red light therapy like mask or something on Amazon, or is there a specific one that you should get? What do you recommend?
Love these questions, and we didn't talk about these before, so I'm so glad. It's great. So red light therapy is not all made equally, just like everything else. And so you have to have a certain penetration with your lights, and the lights have to stay bright in the same warm heat level that will penetrate into the follicle. And so right now you can find a red light laser cap or phototherapy laser cap on Amazon, probably ranging anywhere from $300 to $8,000, right? Anywhere from a small little device that has 3 or 4 laser diode lights, all the way in just red lights, all the way up to 300, 350 for professional devices. So the key really is you need to check the wattage and how long the lights are maintaining this strength, because there is a certain strength professionally that the wattage and the light, the way that it penetrates into the surface of the skin, you need it to be deep enough. And so a lot of retail devices do not go deep enough. And I'm not, downplaying any of our vendors or any of the manufacturers, but, stay in the United States with your manufacturing company and make sure that you're utilizing a professional device. And there are 3 or 4 really good brands on the market that are professional, that are the ones that you want to stay with. And having that continuous light stream is the key that we have found works better than a actual blinking off and on and an interim light. We feel that it penetrates a lot deeper with a continuous light.
And do you know these brands, what they are for our students, so we can give links to them?
Of course. So there is a brand that we use. We use 3 brands, actually. The first is a professional brand that is Laser Cap. So it's actually the original trademark Laser Cap brand that is made here in the United States. The other is the Capillus brand. Both of these are both professional. They also have 2 different ways of the light penetration to stay continuous. And because they are professional devices, the laser cap as well as Capillus, both of those brands allow the user to set the timer on the preferred time that they will need. And if the student or if anyone that's listening is under professional care for your hair loss, you want to check with your provider and the specialist, and they will be able to adjust the timing to work for your particular degree of hair loss. So some hair loss is very early stage, others is very aggressive stage. And so we have to customize the amount of light therapy that's needed depending upon the aggressiveness of the light.
Got it. Awesome. Thank you so much. That's great. One more question in my men's side, and then I think I've got one on the women. So what is the most cost-effective repair for a receding hairline after medication regimen is already in place?
So I think, boy, that's a big question because there's so many opportunities for additional treatment. When we talk about it, the injections of exosomes, when we talk about microneedling with growth factors, when we talk about platelet-rich plasma injections, which are also a growth factor that are derived directly from the body, right? And so when we talk about cost effectiveness, is this something that, the student wants to try at home? And if it is, then we have clients that are being successful with derma rolling the scalp. And so, you probably are very familiar with derma rolling one's face or skin. Most women have heard of it before, but you can also derma roll the scalp as well. And so the cause of the derma rolling causes the body to repair itself and to heal itself. The derma roller, as well as the microneedling, will also add channels into that top layer of skin. So remember the analogy we talked about earlier with growing grass, right? We have to make sure that the top layer of the skin is lubricated and is open for products to truly penetrate. So there are, again, 6 different solutions for more aggressive types of treatment for a frontal hairline recession. And typically the frontal hairline recession is where we need the most aggressive treatment. And the sooner that the individual starts with the treatment, the sooner that the slowing, the miniaturization of the hair will take place, because that is one of the areas that's the most aggressive, that, where we see that the AGA and the male pattern thinning takes hold first. And so cost effectiveness, derma rolling at home, along with topical treatments. Again, topical treatments probably need to be compounded and customized depending upon the aggressiveness of one's hair loss. Then moving into microneedling, moving into injections on the scalp as well. There's also a couple of new devices that act similar to, if you think of an ultrasound, how there's sound waves that actually can kind of open up that top layer of skin and soften that scalp so that there's other types of penetration mechanisms with your topicals. And then go back to the red light therapy as well. So a red light cap, it can be used for many, many years. And it's something that should be used on an ongoing maintenance basis.
I love it. You're clearly an expert. You definitely know your stuff. I'm so glad that you're here sharing all of this juicy knowledge with us. So from my woman's side, I've heard a lot regarding rosemary oil. Is it effective and at what dose? Is that kind of similar to what you had shared?
Something similar to the cinnamon.
Yeah.
It's okay though. There's some validity in rosemary oil only because it's also a little bit of a stimulant. It also is known to reduce inflammation on the scalp, and the lubrication with the rosemary oil can also cause a little bit of natural stimulation if one massages it into the scalp. So that's the other key, is that what's really the nature of the hair loss? So is it because the hormones are shifting? Is it because the body has less moisture? Then rosemary oil certainly is a very cost-effective, easy treatment, right? After using for 30 days, if you're not seeing results, then it obviously isn't getting to the root cause of the issue.
Very helpful. Well, thank you so much for answering all of our questions. If someone is in need of your services and would love to learn more, how can they get in contact with you?
Yes. So it's very easy because we are able to help clients all over the world. And we offer a 15-minute analysis, which is quick and easy. And they can reach us through our website on our consultation page. And the website is HPIHair Partners. And it's HPIHairPartners.com.
Perfect. And I will make sure to link that below this video so you can reach out to Kimberly. Any final thoughts or tips that you would like to share with our audience?
Yes, thank you for that. Because I think the one thing that's the most important takeaway from today is that if anyone is experiencing hair loss and they've been experiencing hair loss for more than 6 to 9 months, whether it's acute or whether it's been chronic, but it's starting to increase, it's really, really important to seek a professional recommendation and professional counsel on that, because it doesn't mean that it is just a genetic form of hair loss. And so utilizing a trichologist that's in someone's area, reaching out to us to dive in to really understand what is the root cause of the hair loss is the most important takeaway from today, no matter what.
And is it something where the sooner the better? Because if you don't get on top of it, it's not going to come back?
Yes, that's right. And, again, there's lots of information online that will say, oh, if your hair follicle's been dead, for 5 years, for 10 years, it's not going to grow back. Well, only a biopsy will tell you that, right? Because we truly would have to take a biopsy of the tissue to see if the follicle is completely closed. But I can tell you that we have clients that range anywhere from very young, early teens, all the way through 80 years old. And we are seeing restoration efforts work even for our 80-year-old clients, males as well as females.
Amazing. Well, that's so great. I love that makes me feel very hopeful about, and I hope that anybody who's watching feels very hopeful about what's possible for their hair. I certainly will be looking into this as I am pregnant now. So I know I will have in the future a lot of hair loss. And so it would be great to learn about how, just how to stay on top of that. So thank you so much, Kimberly, for being here. I really appreciate your time. And that wraps up this video, guys. If you like this video, make sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, leave us a comment in the comments below. Let us know what you're struggling with in terms of your hair loss. And then also follow us on social media. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time.